Let's go ahead to Capricorn Clark. And let's see what Capricorn Clark had to say. Now, remember, these victim impact statements were all filed today in court. So she wrote this on September 17th. And Capricorn Clark was Diddy's assistant, and she was there during the time that Cassie was there. She also had a personal friendship with him before she began working with him. She's also the assistant that was working for Suge Knight at one point in time, and she was walked into Central Park and, you know, was told that if anything happened, uh, you know, she was gonna be. And then she also did the lie detector test for a whole week and was told that if she failed, she was going into the river. So let's see what she had to say. She says, Dear Judge Submarinian, I testified in your courtroom in this case in May of 2025. As you heard, I worked for Puff from 2004 to 2012. And during that time, I got to know him very well. Since Puff fired me in 2012, he has had me blacklisted from the industry. And I've had to take on multiple jobs to garner anything near my worth. Today, I'm a single mother to a nonverbal autistic little boy living in Los Angeles. This ordeal has taken 14 years of my life, my career trajectory, halted at 33 years old. What I lived through working for Puff, and in particular, the events of December of 2011, altered my course of my life and have haunted me for years. I feel that I paid with my life for the events that transpired that fateful day. We had to relive in federal court. I never wanted this. For many years, I could not tell my story and lived in fear. Fear of Puff, fear of how I would feed my son. About a year and a half ago, HSI case agents, which is Homeland Security, case agents found me and asked me what happened. Those agents changed my life and would like to say that the Southern District of New York is the epitome of prestige and professionalism. I was handled with the ultimate care, but testifying publicly in front of Puff and his supporters was one of the hardest moments of my life. Every last word you heard from me was the truth. Yet I felt, yet I felt, and to be honest, still feel like I had to fight to prove that I'm a victim because the purpose of kidnapping me wasn't for sex trafficking. What it was for was something more serious, more sinister, and grave: violence and absolute power, unchecked in the ultra rich and famous. It's insane to me that all the things that people heard, 2 counts of prostitution of men, is the only thing that remains on the table. I wanted to speak up, tell the truth, and do the right thing when I was asked to testify. But I'm afraid that women and girls in America feel less protected than ever watching, more less protected than ever watching what just happened. The lesson seemed to be that we should not speak up, not call law enforcement for help, not say anything, but instead keep our head down and try to make a way, regardless of what happens to us. I'm afraid this may be the only realistic way to proceed in the modern world. The last ray of light is that you prove justice to us. Oh, I'm sorry, that you provide justice to us. You have a chance to finally help him know that he can't just do what he wants to people. There are repercussions and consequences. He can't just destroy other people's lives. Karma will come back in 100-fold ways. I would like Sean Combs to serve additional time in a correctional institution. I truly believe that serving more time will save Puff's life, as time away from his money, drugs, and power is the only punishment he will recognize. I hope Puff has life on the other side of his time. I hope Puff has life on the other side of his time to make good on the changes he knows he has to make, to spend time with his family and get a chance to correct the damage he has so recklessly done to so many people who only meant well by him. Thank you, Your Honor, for your time, consideration, and for hearing us finally. God bless. Capricorn Clark. Oh, I didn't put it up on the screen. My bad. I thought I had put hers up on the screen, but this is what I read. It was just 2 pages. It was very short. I don't think Capricorn, Capricorn lost hope. That's what I'm getting from that. Okay. She didn't want to write that. If in my opinion, she didn't want to write that. Because she already said it in the opening of that letter. She said, look, what happened at this trial is not giving anybody any hope. And I don't even have any more hope. I done dredged up this. I done came in there. I done testified, and I'm testifying in front of him and his supporters. And Capricorn Clark got drugged. Like, if you remember, Mia, Capricorn, everybody that has testified was getting drugged across the internet. And the more people were dragging on them, the more their videos were going up, the more people were paying attention to them, the more they got drug on. And everybody lost sight that these are victims. These are people that are testifying to stuff that happened to them. You weren't there. And so her letter reflects that she feels like, look, I did what I tried to do and it ain't work. Yeah. Yeah. Like she tried to get the one last point across. She's like, look, either y'all going to sentence this man or not, because I've lost faith. Okay. This is in no reflection to Homeland Security or to the Southern District of New York. But I give up. Mary asks, my opinion, only execution by firing squad. Girl, we can't do that in these modern times. How does satisfaction come with Diddy getting released one day? Diddy being released after rehabilitation. My personal and humble opinion is Diddy is a threat to himself and to others, has been a threat to others. And he needs serious help. Like, we can't sweep that under the rug. Child, these letters are impacting. Okay. These letters are impacting and it's speaking volumes. You hear Cassie like, look, I had to relive all of this shit in my life. And the jury didn't get it right. Now it's up to you, Judge. You're our last hope. And that's kind of like the same thing that Mia's saying, right? Mia's kind of like, um, now we're going to get into Deonte Nash. Now, Deonte Nash was the stylist that was around, and he was there during Cassie's time with Diddy. And he was actually her stylist as well, and they became friends. Same thing with Mia. So Cassie knew Mia. She knew all of these people. If I'm going to be honest with you, Cassie, Mia, Capricorn, and Deonte, that was all around the same time frame. Okay. I'm not sure. I think Chef Jordan was there at as well. But I'm not sure. I can't remember. It was a lot. So let's read what Deonte Nash has to say. And Deonte had a lot to say because, baby, this is a 6-page letter with the opening that makes it 5. So Deonte had a lot to say. All right. So he starts off, Dear Judge Submarinian, thank you for the opportunity to share these thoughts. I write with great respect for the court and the difficult decision it must weigh. Mr. Combs' attempt to secure release before his scheduled sentencing hearing demonstrates a troubling lack of accountability and a continued pattern of manipulation. Okay, he eaten down already. The charges he was convicted of, including violation of the Mann Act, are not minor. They reflect serious, deeply disturbing conduct involving the coercion and transportation of individuals for illegal sexual activity. You better come on, Deonte. Is he not telling it like it is? Because it ain't just about consensual sex between adults. We're talking about prostitution, and that's what I've been trying to tell people. Ash Renee, welcome to the chat. She says, Henny, Utah has the right to use firing squad. I did not know that. So wait, there's still states that do stuff like that. Oh, I'm going to have to go look into this. Are you for real? I did not know that was still a thing. Thank you for giving me that information. Shout out to Ash. W Ash in the chat, y'all, for giving us that information, okay? Now, let's get back into Deonte. The thought that Mr. Combs does not believe he deserves jail time is both disturbing and frightening. It underscores the depth of his lack of accountability and the danger he imposes. Someone who refuses to acknowledge the harm they have caused, who believes that they are above the law, demonstrates the same pattern of manipulation and abuse that has impacted so many lives. The fact that Mr. Combs believes that because he harmed people he claimed to love or called friends, he somehow deserves leniency is outrageous. That sense of entitlement makes his actions even more sickening. Yet, Mr. Combs continues to treat this process as negotiable, as though he is merely managing a legal inconvenience rather than confronting the consequences of federal crimes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Deonte in the chat. Deonte in the chat. He did not come to play. Okay, Rocky said that man can write his ears off. Girl, he's calling the thing the thing. Deonte. He says his efforts to preempt the court's process show not only a lack of respect. Hold on, I'm supposed to be in the small screen. Hold on, let me get this up here because y'all got to see this, baby. Y'all got to see. Hold on. Y'all got to see this. This man is eating down. Okay. His efforts to preempt the court's process show not only a lack of respect for the justice system, but also a refusal to acknowledge the severity of his actions. You better come on. I've been saying that. Come on. At one point, there was public indication that Mr. Combs is intended to seek professional or mental health treatment. Whether that ever occurred remains unclear. What is clear, however, is that there have been no visible movement towards accountability. Rather than allow the legal process to proceed in good faith, he has focused on tactical maneuvers meant to bypass scrutiny and maintain control, soliciting letters of support, crafting PR statements, and attempting to manipulate public sentiment. His plan to escape accountability has been in motion from the very start. His violence has not been limited to private encounters, from orchestrated quote unquote freak offs to assaults on staff and strangers. His behavior has left a long trail of victims, many of whom still live in fear. Some of the worst abuse was inflicted on people he claimed to love. This is not the story of one or two isolated incidents. This is the story of hundreds, possibly thousands of people whose lives have been scarred by his unchecked power of brutality. Mr. Combs must also refrain from comparing his crimes to those of others. His conduct stands on its own and has set a new legal cultural precedent. This is not about relative wrongdoing. It is about individual accountability for a decades-long pattern of abuse. Deonte chat. There are many reasons why Mr. Combs should serve an appropriate sentence. And he got bullet points. Come on. Psychological impact on victims. His release would re-traumatize survivors, many of whom remain in hiding for their safety. The court has a duty to uphold justice and protect those speaking out. Influence over potential co-conspirators. Release would allow him to coordinate with uncharged associates to retaliate or construct false narratives. We'll go into number 3. No remorse or accountability. To date, he has shown no genuine remorse, only carefully crafted statements issued under legal pressure. This lack of accountability should weigh heavily against any request for release. Number 4, public safety concern. The allegations include violent physical abuse, death threats, and intimidation. His release would endanger survivors and the public at large. Beyond legal concerns, I want the court to understand the very real lived impact of Mr. Combs' abuse. This man harassed everyone around us, including friends and business associates, so relentlessly that people no longer wanted to work with us or even spend time with us. We were ashamed to leave the house. The balcony he hung Bana from, a place that once offered peace, became a site of terror. The home he held me in against my will was my own. The keys and phone he stole were possessions I earned through my years of hard work. He robbed me not only of safety, but dignity. His reach was suffocating. He has caused lasting damage to the lives and careers of nearly everyone in his inner circle, past, present, and likely future. Some complied willingly, many more felt coerced. He taunted victims through songs that contradicted the truth, creating false narratives that could never safely be challenged because of the fear he instilled. He pursued Cassie to her friends despite both of us telling him she wanted no contact, and tried to manipulate situations by offering favors if I helped deliver her to him. He has openly declared to his victims that he does not respect or care about the legal system. If he does not respect the court should not extend him any leniency. I do this not just for myself, but for every mother, father, child, grandparent, sister, brother, boyfriend, husband, wife, friend, artist, intern, employee, and assistant who sacrificed for a man who only abused them in return. I have watched people take trains, move across the country, leave their families, and dedicate themselves fully, only to be mistreated, exploited, and silenced. Some of these people have even left the entertainment industry altogether entirely because of his actions. This issue is not only about violence, but also secrecy. Many of us were abused precisely because Mr. Combs wanted us to hold his secrets to maintain his reputation. The truth is, Mr. Combs never respected those who worked closest with him. He rummaged through our lives while publicly pretending to suffer through hard times. He refuses to take responsibility privately or publicly. The abuse was deliberate. The control was relentless. The damage is lasting. The same ailments Mr. Combs now claims as an excuse are the very ones he has carried with him throughout his years of touring, conducting business, and abusing those around him. They never stopped him from being violent, abusive, or intoxicated when left to his own devices. They should not serve as an excuse now. True change cannot exist without acknowledging the harm one caused. Claiming to have changed while continuing to defend the behavior that led to incarceration is not accountability. It is avoidance. Mr. Combs repeatedly shifts between denying responsibility, seeking sympathy, and reshaping the narrative to suit his immediate needs. Real transformation is consistent, honest, and comfortable. It does not depend on who is watching or what outcome is desired. Until he confronts his actions as wrong and takes full responsibility, any claim of change is hollow. I do not expect him to be in jail forever, but I'm praying for a sentence that allows the victims to heal and encourages Mr. Combs to genuinely change. For all of these reasons, I respectfully urge the court to deny his request for early release and deny his 14-month suggestion. He has been fighting the truth for uh the past year, and this ongoing denial is causing additional harm to the mental and well-being of the victims. Survivors deserve safety. The public deserves protection, and justice demands accountability. Judge, this is not a good man. Thank you so much for your time, Judge Arun Submarinian. Your consideration means a great deal to me and to the victims. Respectfully, Deonte Nash. Come on, chat. Deonte. Come on. Come on. Mm-mm. Now, no, I don't feel like the public at large is in immediate, imminent danger from Diddy. But this is more of the same. This is why a lot of people don't speak up, because they don't feel heard. And that's what we're hearing in a lot of this, that we don't feel heard. They don't feel heard. We don't feel heard. They don't believe us. They, the jury let us down. And I told y'all that's how I felt. I felt like the jury got it wrong. Like they just didn't want to give him, oh Lord.